Hey everyone, Chasta here. You're watching Soundwaves TV, and this episode is called MTV. MTV. It works better in word form. You'll get it later. This week on Soundwaves TV, Bay Area musician and engineer Pamela Parker joins us in the studio. We'll have a live from the Complex performance from Tess and the Details, and we'll talk about why some of your favorite cable channels are disappearing. Plus, a brand new top 5 and side hustles. This is Soundwaves TV. Everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Here we are. It's Chasta, Dennis, and Steve. And by the way, I will have you know, Steve, the other day I was having a drink with a friend, and I forced them. I'm like, no, you put it down first. And I haven't even seen the damn show. I don't even know why I'm doing that. I just know that you make me do it.
Oh, the Ted Lasso?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
you know?
right.
I do as I'm told. Look at me, being a good girl.
I'm just pulling the strings here.
You were just talking about how you're a rules girl.
I am a rules girl.
Say, how are we enjoying season 8 so far?
I mean, obviously.
You know.
I can't believe it's season 8.
Hey, I'm really excited that our top 5 is actually getting a little traction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and good idea on your part. That was your little brain fart.
Aw, shucks. We all come up with great ideas. But what I'm saying is...
I was going to say brainchild, but then I went with brain fart because it felt right.
It's more of a Chasta thing.
It is.
It's more of a Dennis thing. I mean, I brain fart more than I brain anything else. So,
So what were we talking about?
Yes.
I have no idea. Anyway, the top 5 is really it's one of our ways to further expose artists that you need to know about.
Yeah, well, we're taking that and running with it because nobody else really is, including MTV, which is almost entirely gone. There's a lot of things.
That's a great segue.
I mean, I kind of impressed myself with that one.
Yeah.
That was good, right?
That was good. Yeah. So we all know, okay, let's get the jokes out of the way. MTV doesn't play videos anymore. Okay, we've heard them. But I think we're going to talk about something a lot more dire, and that's the fact that...
Dire? In 2025, you say? No.
Right. It'd be really easy to just go, how dare Viacom start popping off and getting rid of all of the MTV channels and BET channels and old man shakes, whatever. But here's how it works. When you have cable subscribers and you're charging $200 or whatever, a couple of bucks here and there across the entire country goes to fund those offshoot channels. That's the way it's always been.
Right.
Pardon me. Cutting the cord. We're all cutting the cord, which means less dollars coming in. Right. So those big corporations have to make choices.
Sure.
So they're like, well, maybe the FXX that doesn't need to be a thing anymore. And that's true. The FXX was a FX shoot-off.
Yeah.
MTV Classic, BET, whatever. Yeah. And so now they're kind of taking those fringe channels and they're doing away with them. Mm-hmm. To which I say this. When a corporation, here I go again. How many friggin' times am I going to say this? When a corporation buys all these entities up, and all of a sudden you go from now there's this one company that owns 1,000 channels. Mm-hmm. Guess what? At some point, that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's going to happen. What suffers? Art suffers. MTV suffers, BET suffers, Yeah. And at the end of the day, everybody's beholden to, we got to make more money this quarter, which means anybody who once was a music fan now has to watch reality shows. And now 20 years later, we get to watch those channels go away. Ain't capitalism great? It
is. I knew we'd wind up.
I'm done.
No, don't be done. Don't be done.
I'll never be done with this one.
Here's the truth of the matter is I actually learn a lot from you on this topic because you pay close attention. You're very knowledgeable about this stuff. And I feel like over the years, I've really learned to get it a little bit more. I mean, although, I work for a corporation. Well, you do too, actually.
Sure. Yeah.
So, it's tricky because, I got to be super careful what I say here. So corporations do have to make money, and that I understand because they have to keep people like us employed. Okay, fine, got it. But when you go to the top tier and you see things like gigantic bonuses, and that's where people like me, who even try to not even take up for corporations necessarily, but try to understand their plight, go, crap. I get. What can you say about that?
Right.
And then in your case, like what you're saying is the art suffers. All those things go away. And we talked about like MTV News in particular.
Yes.
You know, that is a biggie because it is a historical piece of content that we need for the rest of time.
And things with these channels were created for a reason. They didn't just appear out of nowhere. There was a market for it. There was a reason for it. MTV itself and like MTV News or anything, there was a reason for it. And yes, things are going to evolve and things are going to change and culture is going to shift around. You know, MTV becomes VH1, you know, where your videos. I get it. But yes, the problem is all the way up at the top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Because the money that went to creating this, and it's hard to think of something like MTV as a niche network.
Yeah.
But it kind of is.
Yeah.
You know, that's for an audience. And it's not enough anymore to create something for specific audiences. It's all got to be under the umbrella. It's all got to, you know, take a look at Disney and what they're doing with all the stuff they're buying up, the Star Wars things.
Right.
They're just creating kind of Amazon just taking over the James Bond franchise.
Yeah.
You know, I guarantee you, know, we're going to see ads pretty soon for James Bond Jr., a 15-year-old exploits, and blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God. I wouldn't doubt it at all.
No, not at all. And that's the problem because all they're doing now is they're grabbing these IPs and they're trying to figure out how they can squeeze every last little bit of juice out of them before they toss it away. Not realizing, because they're just looking at today. They're looking at this quarter. They're looking at this year. They're not looking at what this franchise is going to mean historically down the road.
Yeah.
Because history doesn't mean shit to these people.
Yeah.
Art doesn't mean shit to these people.
Yes.
And that's the problem. It's the death of art because of, yes, make a living, make a money, make a buck off of, you know, something. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But God damn it, you know.
There's limits in greed.
You just reminded me of that scene in Goodfellas when they're talking about there's that one place and, you know, things go in the front and they go out the back. And you know what? Once you've gotten everything you need to get out of it, what do? You light a match.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And that's exactly what we're talking about
yes,
here.
Exactly.
You know?
Very well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unfortunately,
Thank you,
I feel.
Goodfellas.
I mean, yeah, I know, right? When you're going to Goodfellas for your references, it is a dark time we're living in.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree on that. All right, so back to the top 5 really quick.
Yeah.
Very, very excited about it. It has taken the internet by storm. So make sure you check them out. We're sharing them. We're tagging bands.
Right.
I want to make sure that we say they're in no particular order.
Right. Yep. Yes, exactly.
So feelings don't get hurt.
Yeah.
But shall we get into it?
I think we shall.
Okay, we're going to check out our SOUNDWAVES top 5. Here we go.
These are the top 5 artists and songs you need to add to your playlist in no particular order. NIKKI O'NEILL, Newcomer Blues.
Newcomer Blues. Got stamps in my passport, a new home to lose. Common culture sure seems grand. My fate was in my hands.
SWMRS, Brand New Lungs. Black Map, Hex, Come Get It.
Come get it! Come get it! Come get it! Come get it! Come get it!
Tim Narducci, Autopilot.
I wanna fly on around with you. Is this the best you can do?
Frantic Romantic, Beyond the Digital Sky.
So did everybody see our superstar?
No, you had it right.
Superstar. I swear that was tongue twister. Superstar, Mr.
Freudian
Stephen
slip.
Kirk and Frantic
Oh,
Romantic.
crap.
Everybody playing the villain.
Yep.
Typecasting.
Yeah.
Hey, SOUNDWAVES top 5. You kidding me? It is a big deal right now. So don't forget, if you want to be part of the SOUNDWAVES top 5 potentially, get a hold of us and let us know. Send your stuff, man.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And currently you can do so by going to 1077thebone.com/soundwaves.
That's right.
But we also have a link on our SOUNDWAVES TV page, like right at the top. You can just click on the thing. We want to see and hear everything you got going on because we have a radio show, we have a video show, and we have the top 5. We want to support you. We want to support your art. I have spoken. Okay.
I have spoken. I have spoken.
Now it's time for the power pick of the week, and I'm excited about this because Tamar Burke is see what they're doing? We talked all about the thing. You just do your thing. I'm going to talk to the camera, and you guys just fart around there. So Tamar Burke, friend of the show, San Diego-based artist. She's been on a number of times, and her latest video was actually shot in the Windy City the last time she was there. It is the third single from her brand new album, Third Time for a Change. She's made 4 albums in 4 years, and she's already working on her 5th. Tamar Burke may be the hardest working independent musician in the country. What do you guys think about that?
You know what I think? I think Dennis is a goddamn pro.
That was so impressive.
Chasta and I are over here fucking around.
That's right.
Camera.
That's right.
Drinking beer, making faces and shit. And he just nailed that shit, man.
Well done.
Hey,
well done.
You know what?
Good job.
Because I wasn't looking.
That's right.
If I was looking, you would have done this, mess me up. But Tamar Burke, the power pick of the week. This is Chicago. Check it out.
It seems okay to be going back home today. 'Cause Mom and Dad, it's been a long day in Chicago. And it feels so strange to be wanting to see that place again. But still I'm driving 65 back to Ohio. 'Cause when you're growing up, well, I suppose it's just something that you do. And you might get lucky, but you never know. At 22. It's not that bad. It's just sometimes I get so sad about being all alone here in Chicago. And I'll drive all night, memorizing every single line. And I'll tell you when I get back home to Ohio. 'Cause when you're growing up, well, I suppose it's just something that you do. And you might get lucky, but you never know until you do. So I think back now, I really don't remember why I came. And I must have had a damn good reason for why I even stayed. 'Cause when you're growing up, well, I suppose it's just something that you do. And you might get lucky 'cause you know you've got nothing better to do. You might get lucky, but you never know. It's just a point of view. At 22, it seems okay to be going back home today. 'Cause Mom and Dad, it's been a long day in Chicago.
Hey, how about a little Tamar Burke here on Soundwaves TV?
I love her.
Today is an awesome day.
Yes.
It's an awesome day for the guys. I got to tell you, because, and this is not a sexist thing at all. I'm just saying, we start with Chasta.
Oh.
We have Tamar Burke on the show, and then Pamela Parker.
Hi, Pamela. She's here. Hi. She's here.
Yes, she
Pamela.
is.
She'll be on in just a moment. Are you cool?
I'm having a moment. Yeah.
I know.
No.
It's a little hot in here. It's getting hot in here. Okay, I'm going to talk to Pamela so that they can all just take a break. Take a breather.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Breakers, voted Pacifica's best daytime restaurant serving classic American breakfast, brunch, and lunch specialties. Great food, friendly staff, and amazing views with outdoor, dog-friendly seating. Life is better at Breakers. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Rockaway Beach. Check out the menu and plan your next visit at ilovebreakers.com.
Please consider helping us continue our mission of lifting and supporting independent music by becoming a SOUNDWAVES patron. In exchange, you'll be the first to see and hear all of our weekly shows, as well as have access to exclusive content. Just go to patreon.com/SoundwavesTV.
SoundwavesTV.com is your official home for Soundwaves merch. From coffee mugs to a variety of barware, hats, exclusive tees, and the exclusive Soundwaves commemorative challenge coin. Get all your shopping done at SoundwavesTV.com.
Hey everyone, you're watching Soundwaves TV. Chasta here, and I'm so excited to have the beautiful and very, extremely even talented Miss Pamela Parker back. How are you?
Thank you, Chasta. I'm so good. I'm really happy to be here with you.
I wore my rock and roll sweater just for you today.
I
was
love that.
Oh, our goddess is coming in, so I gotta step it up a notch, put on the right earrings, which I knew you'd have badass earrings, and she does. Guitars. love that you embody the goddess energy.
Well, thank
and
you.
And you really push that forward. Behind the scenes, it's not when you're watching this, but today is International Women's Day, and it could not have worked out more perfectly for us to sit here and chat. I realized we haven't been together on this show since 2019, pre-COVID era.
Wow.
Literally a different
insane.
time and space.
I knew it had been a while, but that's
That's
just, like
ridiculous.
That long.
Yeah. So tell us what's been going on in the last 5 years.
Oh gosh, I don't even
5
know. I don't know if I remember.
I know, right? A lot's changed.
Yeah, it has. But I mean, I still work at Hyde Street Studios.
You must be like close to what? 18, 17 years there?
Yeah, it'll be 18 years in May.
Wow,
So I'll finally be legal.
Yeah. I love it.
Legal at the studio to touch the knobs.
Yes, exactly. I love it. Hyde Street Studios there's a documentary being made, right?
It is. That's right. And when we were having Jamie's 50th birthday party at Hyde Street, Michael Streeta comes in, and he had been at Muscle Shoals. And he told us the story of Muscle Shoals. You know, they have a great documentary.
Sure.
They make quite a bit of money per day on tours and merch sales. And I was like,
ding, ding.
Why don't we do that? Because we have all this history.
Yeah.
So, I said it enough that Chris McGrew picked it up, and Albert Lopez, and Telling Visions is also working on it. Spence Murray, my old bass player. So basically, like, my old band is producing the documentary.
I love that. That's amazing. You really brought everyone together to get this done. You're a great songwriter. The song you released, I think it was last year, Chains, I love so much.
Yeah.
I love it. Lyrically, I just really appreciate the notion of that song. So
thank you.
Your voice is what drew me to you in the beginning, because your voice is just this absolute powerhouse.
Oh, thank you.
When did you find that you had that voice? Like, where did, like, itty bitty?
No.
No, because I can imagine you being like a 5-year-old just belting.
Right, I wish that I had that confidence. No, when I was younger, I learned piano, and then my mom could always sight read and sing really well.
Okay.
So that was really cool to have her do that.
Yeah.
And then I did piano lessons, and then we would go to the Kennedy Center a lot in DC.
In DC, yeah.
And so I wanted to play violin at one point. So when I moved to Oklahoma,
Yes, we have an Oklahoma connection.
I started playing violin
Yeah.
in the orchestra, and then at one point the teacher got really curmudgeon when I switched to high school, and so I was like, screw this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And all along I was also doing choir during that time, and then I bought a drum set because I was like quitting violin, so all the money I had saved in my whole life, which was $1,000.
I love that.
Which is quite a lot when you're little. I bought a Ludwig drum set, black, with that money, and then started learning drums. Couldn't take that to college with me, so then I started learning my mom's acoustic guitar.
Wow.
And then she bought me a guitar for graduation day.
Yeah.
Which I almost lost, side note, because I got a tongue ring on senior spring break on South Padre Island. The one place you could get tattoos and piercings at the age of 17.
Yes. Being from Oklahoma, I remember that being the case. We went to Texas for everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, I kept that a secret pretty long, from spring break to graduation day.
A tongue ring?
Yeah.
How did you keep that a secret?
I don't know.
Pamela got very quiet all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She's like,
hey, Mom.
That's so funny. I went to Texas to get my first tattoo.
Oh, my gosh.
Belly button piercing. All of it. Anything goes in Texas.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
It's so funny.
Okay, I love that your mom was your start in music for you and your brother, if I remember.
And my brother too.
So it being International Women's Day, you know, I woke up and I thought to myself, like, what does that mean to me? Because I've said multiple times, and on here as well, thinking about being a woman. Like, I'll be asking interviews myself, like, you know, how do you feel being a woman in a male-dominated industry? And my response has always been, I don't really think about it. Like, I don't wake up and go, I have a vagina, let's go. Like, that's never, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But then this morning I thought, maybe I should. I saw this interview with Pink. And she, and I don't want to bring up politics and go down that rabbit hole here, but she said something that was so powerful, and it just happened this morning, and I went, oof, it hit me. She said, how can I not, having a vagina, say my piece in the world? I am walking politics. And more in 2025, we are than ever. Or not ever, but again, I mean, I never would have thought we would be back around to this place where we need to fight for our rights like we are going to have to do. So I was challenged this morning, and I thought, well, maybe I do need to start thinking about that and leaning in. And I look to you because you do embody that femininity and that badass energy and that goddess vibe on stage and in your dress and in your clothes. Like, you really lean into it.
Oh, thanks.
Is that something that you think about, like harnessing that femininity as energy to put out, or is that just who you are?
I don't know. I feel like I wear a lot of pants, so I don't feel as feminine when I'm wearing the pants, right? And I guess I don't really think about it as much either, but I want to be an inspiration to other women to just be themselves. And I feel like, you know, knowing women in different generations, like my mother's generation and her mother's generation, and then how they were just like kept quiet or just made the food that the husband wanted, or, you know, different things like that, where it's like, well, what do you like to do? And it's like, well, I don't know. And that blows my mind so much when you ask someone what do they like and they don't know what they like. So it's like we live in a different world than that now, where you know, my partner, he does make dinner sometimes, and he does like contribute to the housework, and I'm like, I'm keeping you.
Yeah,
you know? Like, we're not going back.
Right.
So, but that to have that be so surprising.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you're in a way you're taking it for granted a little bit because you're living in that world where like your partner does help clean the bathrooms and do things that like a lot of people traditionally is just like the women's job, or the housemaid or whoever is coming to clean is their job or whatever. Right? So it's an interesting world, and I feel that I have experienced being a woman in the male dominated world in so many ways.
Me too, yeah.
But I sometimes am fearful of exposing that because I don't want people to feel bad that they treated me some way that they don't even know why they're doing that.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think that some people don't even know that they're doing that. And they
it's just ingrained.
Trust that the person who looks like that is going to do a better job than the person who looks like that. Or it's like a safety thing where just because it's always been a white man with gray hair doing engineering.
Yes, right. Yes.
It should be that now. But like a young woman who maybe doesn't look her age.
Right.
Does she really know what she's doing? Like, I don't know.
Even though you've done that job for
18
close
years.
to
well,
2
actually,
decades.
25 now.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's not aged me too much, but, you know, I did start working in studios before I lived here. I managed Avalon Studios. I was managing One World Studios in D.C.
Yeah.
And just, like, I've done a couple records with other artists before I moved out here, before I even graduated college with my music production
So the
degree.
headline is, you know your shit.
Right, but then
and you may not look the part to
Right.
some, I guess.
But you don't get the experiences that other men in the industry get because they get the calls.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't get the calls.
Yeah, you got to fight
You have
for
to
your
be
place.
like, I'll be looking at the schedule like, oh, can I do that session? Can I do this session? And then, you know, it's like kind of no comment on what happens next because I love where I work.
Yeah.
But still, I understand that I'm probably not going to be the first one that they call because some artists aren't even allowed to work with women. Their wives will not allow it.
I have
We don't
had
need to talk about
experience
who
with
that is.
too. Yeah.
But there are a few, and it's like I've heard of it over the years. I've experienced it over the years, and it's like I'm not even allowed in the room.
I've had that
with
moment
some
too.
people, and it's not my fault. It's not because I don't know what I'm doing. It's because they were promiscuous or whatever.
Yeah.
Or their wife doesn't trust because she's promiscuous or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And so
Yep.
it becomes
a thing.
A thing, right. And I wish that it wasn't a thing, because can't we just all be who we are? But no, we can't.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
I've done interviews with rock stars that either couldn't take a picture with me because if their wife saw it on social.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm talking in public, like
picture.
backstage, a picture. Or if they took a picture, they couldn't like touch me.
Oh.
So they like stood with their hands like behind their
Like
back
they were
like
going
that.
to jail.
Like that. Yeah.
Like, I didn't do it.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it is interesting. I think I just woke up feeling a little bit challenged in a good way this morning.
Yeah.
Like maybe I need to reframe this. And I said to my husband, I feel more in tune with my great grandmother, who was a quote unquote witch. That's what she was called, and she was ostracized for that, and basically became a hermit. Lived in her house and quietly, and just kind of went away, which is really, really sad. But I feel like I need to lean into like what I resemble from her on her behalf, because now I can.
Right. It's more acceptable now.
Yeah. And so I think as us women in a male dominated industry, less so now, but still,
Right.
it is. We're definitely still the
still is.
minority.
Yeah,
No question.
still is.
I think we do need to lean into owning that energy that comes from being feminine.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm going to take note from you because you do that naturally.
Yeah, and I love to help other women too. It's like a lot of women are catty and don't want to help you.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Because you're in a competition with the only one slot.
Right.
Or two slots.
That might go to a woman. Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so, I understand that fear, but I also don't want to live in that either, because, I'm more of the type of person that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
If I'm not supposed to be there, I'm not supposed to be there. And, recently it came to my attention what's going on with certain people in the industry from Florida and the music industry. One of them is in jail, and there's rumors of other of them.
Yeah.
And, a decade ago, I was working with a management company, and they were like, oh, we sent your stuff to Jay-Z, blah, 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 blah. I was so devastated at the time that didn't work out. Now I'm like, thank you. I know why that I was saved, and it's just like, you go through life and things don't work out, and it's like, spinal tap after spinal tap after spinal tap. Yes. And watching that movie, every new artist, I'm like, did you watch Spinal Tap yet? Just watch it like 4 or 5 times and just accept that at least half of those things are going to happen to you or someone you know.
Yes. Lessons from
Personally.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
I love it. Pamela Parker rocks on pretty much everything, right?
Yeah,
on all the
everything.
social
Yep.
media and the website and all that.
Exactly.
ShopAmazon.com.
Pamela Parker rocks.
I love it. Pamela Parker
We
rocks.
don't want Amazon taking me down.
No. That was a joke.
Yeah.
Pamazon. I need
my
to use
little
the air
secret.
quotes.
Yeah, it is.
And also sign up for the newsletter because, like I said, that's how I love. Because the algorithm, sometimes I see your post, sometimes I don't. We don't even know what that beast is.
Yeah.
But having a newsletter that gets directly to the people that love you is so smart that you do that. Not enough artists do that.
Really? Yeah, I think I've been asking certain people, like, well, how many people on your email list? They're like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't you know that these social media outlets could just end at any time?
Did we not learn anything from TikTok?
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
It can be
You have
turned off and
nothing.
on at any time, but you have connection with your audience, and that's smart. So
big, yeah.
sign up for the newsletter. All right, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, check her out, Pamela Parker. You're watching Soundwaves TV.
All right, welcome back to Soundwaves TV. Joe and Joe here.
and Joe.
Season 8.
That's part of the show you were waiting for.
That's, of course. They always want to wait for the Joe and Joe show. But hey, that interview with Chasta with Pamela Parker,
Yep.
we can only give you just so little of it, but that's why we have the description for you down below with the link for you to go check out the full interview over at youtube.com/SoundwavesTV.
Exactly. There's a lot more that was said, a lot more that was, real interesting stuff that went on. So you want to go check it out. Go to Soundwaves TV and check it out on YouTube, and the full video is up there.
And also, don't forget our whole plethora of social media handles, which, as much as we love social media, this is what we got to do in order for you guys. Yeah, we kind of got to. In order for you guys to see our content, which, over on Instagram, we do give away tickets for certain Bay Area shows. So definitely need to check out Soundwaves TV on Instagram. I know Dennis does a decent job on the Facebook. I think Giselle probably does a little bit. Yeah, okay, so. But yeah, no, just all the links are in the description. That's easier for you to find anyways.
And also, if you want content earlier, then you see it on YouTube,
the website, or YouTube,
the show. Be a patron of our Patreon.
There we go.
And you get early access to content and a lot of little fun stuff. And hey, if you hit a high enough tier, maybe you can get your name in the credits on the show.
Exactly. Ooh. But check that out. Patreon.com/SoundwavesTV. We got to introduce the side hustle, dude.
Yep. So the side hustle is some new thing that we're doing this season. And we're introing other things that we do in the Soundwaves universe that you normally don't see.
Because we got to make sure we have those plan Bs ready to go just in case.
Just in case. No, but there's so many people in the Soundwaves universe that are doing so many different things, and we like to kind of shine a light on that you might not normally see if you just watch the show.
Including our podcast, Soundwaves TMI, which is what we're going to go to, because this last week's episode, honestly, if you're someone who's looking to break out into the music world here, especially in the Bay Area, you need to listen to this interview that was with Mikey Ross, one of our good friends with Soundwaves TV, and honestly, a masterclass. So here's a little excerpt from this past week's Soundwaves TMI.
You'll have these bands, and I see this all the time at the studio. They'll spend $5,000 on a guitar. They'll spend $1,500 on an amplifier. They'll spend $25,000 on a van. Yeah. They'll buy a bunch of T-shirts and posters and everything they could possibly do to go out and take over the world. And the one thing that they have to sell, they'll be like, "Can I get my record done for $200?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you spend all of the money on everything that it takes to promote the one thing that you have for selling,
right,
and then cheap out on the only thing that's going to ever get you any attention in your entire career? You play the shittiest guitar, drive the shittiest van, sleep on the shittiest floor, and spend every cent you have on recording. The bands that win, 100% of the bands that win have great recordings.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Period.
And bleed for them.
And bleed. And
in every way.
In order to have great recordings, you have to spend money. Yeah. Money assigns value. Value assigns focus and intensity.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. When you go into a $200 studio, you get $200 worth of effort.
Right.
When you go into a $2,000 studio, you better fucking get your job right while you're there.
Right.
Because you're spending a bunch of money.
Right.
And so that's where bands get it wrong every time. And I get these bands coming at me where they're like, why does it cost so much? And I say, because I spend 40 hours on your track to make sure that it's ready to go out there and take over the world.
Yeah.
And you have 38 years of experience.
Yeah.
So if you want to break it down by the hour,
yeah,
we can talk about it.
Yeah.
But what you're paying for is the 40 years plus the 40 hours.
Yeah. Also the personal investment, because I can say that because I know you.
Right.
When you do take on a band like that, you are all in, heart and soul, and want to see them succeed.
Well, I will match them on their intensity.
Yeah, right.
When I meet their artist that's bleeding for it, I'm in your army with you.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry. I'm in. I'll go. What hill do we need to take? Let's go get it.
I love that.
All right, that was from TMI and Mikey Ross's interview that they did, and it's like Joe said earlier, masterclass of just music industry. Yeah, you know. So go to TMI, check that out. You want to see the whole thing because you only got a snippet. You know, it's like there's so much there, especially if you're trying to get in the music business. So check that out, definitely.
And you know, coming up next in just a little bit, you know, here we are with our usual plug for our sponsors, our beautiful sponsor.
Beautiful
Complex
sponsor.
SF, you know,
which is a beautiful place.
A beautiful place. I still have yet to be to this beautiful place, but if you haven't checked them out, they have an amazing studio set up for any musicians out there for you to come in, practice, perform, and even possibly record a music video. A lot of music videos you see here on Soundwaves TV, we shot there at the Complex. Yep. It's an amazing setup.
Yeah, it's an amazing spot in the city. It's a a hidden gem that not a lot of people know about, and people should know more about it because it's, especially if you're in the music industry and if you're looking to do something like that, it's like that's the place to be. So go to their website, check it out, and just all these live shows or these live performances that we get from there are just always amazing.
And also, you might see a live Soundwaves episode on their Twitch stream, but we'll see, depending on how many takes we get through on this take right here. So we'll see if we're ready for live television quite yet. But hey, coming up in just a little bit. Yeah, I know. With these two knuckleheads live TV, let's effing go. But hey, stay tuned. We have a performance coming up with Tess and the Details. Yep. They're going to be performing a punk rock cover of a song from a movie that was out before I was born. Right after this.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Breakers, voted Pacifica's best daytime restaurant, serving classic American breakfast, brunch, and lunch specialties. Great food, friendly staff, and amazing views with outdoor dog-friendly seating. Life is better at Breakers. Open daily from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. in Rockaway Beach. Check out the menu and plan your next visit at ilovebreakers.com.
If you'd like to be considered for airplay on either Soundwaves FM on 107.7 The Bone or right here on Soundwaves TV, go to 1077thebone.com/Soundwaves. It's kind of like back in the day, scamming your way into a radio station with your demo tape, but never actually having to leave the house.
You guys are crazy, man.
Closed captioning for Soundwaves TV is brought to you by Green Room Music Center, offering rock camp, music lessons, a drum shop, and rehearsal spaces for rent. For more information, go to greenroommusiccenter.com.
Hey, what's up? Morris Knight here on Soundwaves TV, and head into the final stretch of the episode with another performance that was shot at the Complex in San Francisco. One of my favorite places. It's always going to be near and dear to my heart because of such fond memories of when my own band, A Million Miles Away, played there. They recorded it, Dennis and the Soundwaves crew got it on video for us. So it's one of those things. We're always going to have that and always have the memory and the feeling of feeling like rock stars with Steve and Chasta, interviewing us. Man, we felt like we were somebody on that day. So, yeah, I highly recommend. But here's one that was originally featured on What's Poppin', which is a live show that streams every other Monday on the Complex's Twitch page. This is from Tess and the Details, one of the Bay Area's hottest pop punk acts coming up, and they are doing one of my favorite songs from the 80s, the Flashdance soundtrack. I went to the movies to see Jennifer Beals dancing all around, make me want to break out my leg warmers every time I hear this song, and now I hear a brand new pop punk version of it that, dare I say, rivals the original, if not slightly tops it in my heart anyway. This is from Michael Cimbello, but Tess and the Details are punking it up. This is Maniac on Soundwaves TV.
Saturday night, looking for the fight of a life.
It's a cold Connecticut, struggling to keep it beat. Now this happened with her head against the wind. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's in a dance maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's in a dance. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor. She's dancing like she's in a dance. Maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's in a dance. One more time, maniac, maniac on the floor. And she's dancing like she's in a dance.
All right, everybody, here we are in the final stretch. Steve, Chasta, and Dennis. And hey, we got a new segment. You know, we started off with the top five. That's an awesome new thing.
Yes.
We got even more awesome new stuff coming up because we've got a thing, fan questions.
Oh.
Boy, me personally, I thought this was going to be a mistake, and let's find out if it was or not. So what we did is we opened the floor to say, "Go ahead, ask us anything."
Yeah.
And we did anything.
Yes.
Anything.
right?
Anything goes.
Right.
So we'll start off light. You know, there's no telling where this is going to go, and feel free because we're not beholden to anybody. We have no censors. We have no nothing.
We have no
corporation. See, it all comes
Nope.
back around.
No,
So,
palms are getting
I will
sweaty.
go so far as to say if you do.
anyway,
I will go so far as to say if you do put any inappropriate questions regarding Chasta in, Jay Michaelis will actually come over to your house and.
that reminds
That
me.
is true.
That reminds me. I need to tell you something after we're done shooting.
Oh God.
But anyway.
Oh God.
Not about me. But something somebody wrote. I could say it. I could say it right now. If
Say
you
it.
want.
Say
You want me
it,
to
yeah.
just? Okay.
I don't have
All right.
secrets.
So I don't know how you're going to react to it though.
That's fine.
Okay. Fuck it.
Yeah.
So when we did our AI sex robot video,
Which got like 1 million views. It's crazy.
Exactly. And I moderated the comments, and you're going to thank me in advance for this.
Oh, Lord.
So go ahead.
All right,
I'll take it.
thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So one of the comments that came in, and I don't know who said it, and I never said yes to accept it, but it said, "What I really want right now is a Chasta sex robot."
Oh God. Oh Lord. The thought of
thank you,
it.
and thank you for not posting my question. I appreciate that. That was very, very thoughtful of you.
At Captain Kirk.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yes. Jay's coming for you now.
I knew this day was coming. And
I mean, I'm kind of honored and also totally
Oh, yeah.
grossed out. Like,
I mean,
you know,
you have a fan, though. You have
hey,
a fan.
shit, I'll take a compliment wherever I can get it
right,
these days.
right? I don't remember
Where do you
anybody
plug
writing, "I'll
me
take
in?"
a Dennis
What?
sex robot." So I mean, run with it. So I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
although
So
you
there's
know,
like 3 different conversations going on here at the same
you have
time.
no idea
They're
what
all
you're missing.
awesome.
All right, so we have fan questions, right?
I need a fan. Good God. Woo. Okay, hit us.
Let's start off late, shall we? Okay, here we go. Here's the fan question number 1. Have you ever walked out of a concert and do you regret it? And that's from Lisa.
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, I walked out of Ted Nugent because he had a video on loop of a deer getting shot and exploding.
Right.
And I was like, F this guy, I'm out. And I was sad because I love the song Stranglehold, which, by the way, is a questionable song without question. And the older I get, the more I'm like, huh. But it's got a groove to it, okay?
Sure.
But I really wanted to see that live, and I was like, no, I can't. I just can't. So, no, I don't regret that at all. And I would never go back to see Ted Nugent, but that's because of other reasons. Additionally, on top of the exploding deer situation.
Well, there's walk out and there's walk out, because like, have I ever walked out halfway into a concert? No. Have I ever looked at the set list and gone, you know what? I know that song. I like that song, but I'm going to get to my car before the entire parking lot jams up.
Oh, I do that every
And that's
time.
every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
You guys are just old.
Oh,
You know, because me, I'm in for the long haul. I've never walked out on anything like that, even if I haven't really enjoyed it.
Do you feel like his seat just elevated, like he's above us, like he's looking down?
A little bit, yeah.
See, over here, my shit don't stink.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Okay, go ahead.
Because first of all, I'm invested. If I invest time in something, if I say I'm going to go out for the evening, I'm going to go out for the evening.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my money down to go see somebody. I'm going to see somebody.
Yeah.
There's been shows that we've all gone to where maybe the headliner is not my favorite band.
Yeah.
I stay and watch it.
Yeah.
Because it's live music. I want to be there. I want to experience it. And nobody has offended me to the point of, say, a Ted Nugent, who I used to love.
Yeah.
And now,
I know.
I know. Once again, reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have not and will not, as far as I know, unless somebody, comes up and, vomits in my feet or something like that.
Challenge.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
It did, yes. Okay.
Maybe at the Guar concert in the front row, there may be issues,
Yeah,
Well, you know what you're
that is
getting
a
into.
thing.
It's like going to a Gallagher show. You just kind of know
you
that.
come in with the poncho and you're ready to go.
Sure.
That's the weirdest interview I've ever done, by the way.
Oh,
Guar or Gallagher?
Oh,
Guarlager?
Weirdest interview
Wow.
I've ever done.
Wow.
Never top it.
So Guar needs
I would
water.
pay money to see that.
I would
Yeah.
say Guar needs more watermelons now.
Yes.
In the front row. Totally.
That would
right?
be the tamest thing they've ever done. All right, we have a question for Dennis.
Yes.
Just specifically for
Okay.
you. From Greg Hoy, who we love.
Oh, great.
Right. I can imagine this.
Where does Dennis get his haircut?
Nice. In your mom's shower.
Oh!
And I can say that because you brought us whiskey. We're whiskey
That's
pals.
true. That's
All right,
true.
all right.
Yeah. All right. Another one?
Well, it was a quick one.
That was.
Well, I mean, where do
Now,
we get our haircut?
This is actually
Not
pretty
as
good. This is
interesting.
good. This is a very
No one's
thoughtful
showering.
question. A very thoughtful question.
Okay.
I want us to take this all very seriously.
Okay.
Very serious. Okay. Like get the sillies out.
giggles out.
Lizosaurus Rex 42 asks, if your belly button was an actual button, what sound would you want it to make?
I have a couple answers.
You can start.
You want me to start?
Oh, sure.
I mean, the first thing that came to mind was, that was easy. The little Office Depot button.
Like a talking?
Yeah, like,
oh, okay. All right.
That was easy. That's one. But in all honesty, probably a baby laugh. I love a baby laugh. Nothing makes me laugh harder than a little baby giggle.
Wow.
Which would arguably be very effing strange.
So you'd be like a sexy version of Poppin' Fresh.
Yeah.
The Doughboy, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God,
Wow.
I'm gonna fall off my chair.
Wow.
It would be like, yeah, totally.
Or maybe not the belly button. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Jay's already coming after you. You need to watch yourself.
Yeah,
Watch yourself.
I'm fucked anyway, so
Watch yourself. You might as well.
Yeah.
Go big or go home. Okay? All right? You guys got a better answer than that?
Well, no, I got to go with the classic Tex Avery. Ooh, God.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that. Totally. Because I figure if you have that superpower, you've got to use it for absolute chaos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Like getting
good.
through lines.
I mean, it could be like a semi-truck, like,
No, like you're in the department store, you're in Target or something, and there's like a sea of people, and you need to get through. You're like, right? And everybody moves out of the way.
brilliant. Or it could just be the more subtle, like Amazon version, the truck backing up,
Sure.
It could be that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
that's that's useful.
Yeah, but me, I'm not subtle.
Right,
I'm goofy. I'm a
We
human
know that.
cartoon, so that's why I would have to have the eyeballs bugging out awooga sound.
Does that come out of the belly button too? A big eyeball that just goes, ooga.
Wow. Wow. Look what you started, Lizosaurus
I
Rex
feel-
42.
I feel that they're churning up here.
Salvador Dali has entered the chat. With eyeballs coming out of my belly button.
I started Lizosaurus, whatever did.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
not my fault.
And thank you very much. We want keep those cards and letters
keep it
coming.
I need a fan. Sorry, it's your notes too. I understand.
Nice.
Okay, go.
Very.
All right.
Thank you, Joe and Joe. Thank you, Morris Knight. Thank you, Mikey Ross, and thank you, Pamela Parker.
Yes.
Next week we are going to have the illustrious Ella Harp joining us
my
and sitting right here.
God.
I know it's like hot women's season. This.
I'm
there
here
I said
for it. Ella is
I'm Stephen
so
Kirk, and I approve this message.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and follow all of us. It's all Soundwaves TV everywhere, including Patreon. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And until next time, I think we've pretty much
we're out.
We've made
We're out.
as much trouble as we can.
Cheers.
Cheers.